Hi there, if you are watching this video, that means you wish to improve your tanking skills on the class of Shadow and Assassin tanks. Currently this is my main character as I'm currently running through the HM progressions of Ravagers and Templar Sacrifice. Start off, we're obviously going to show you the combat abilities you get. You get Kinetic Ward, or known as Dark Ward. This increases your shield chance by 15%. And you also get 15 charges of this. What this means is, I think it's roughly, when you lose a charge, you lose 1%. But, to be honest, 15% extra shield is brilliant. You want to keep this up as much as possible, either off of cooldown or before it drops. And before it drops is quite kind of hard to do if you can get the timings wrong. It's a bit of an annoying thing to do. Obviously, one's combat technique, or known as, I think it's, can't remember the name of the imp side one, because I'm not on it. I think it's Dark Charge. When combat technique is active, Force Bleach causes its target to become unsteady for 45 seconds. They have their melee and range accuracy reduced by 5%, in addition, Whirling Blow. I'm getting used to all the rep side names of this, because I'm getting more into rep side tanking. Also, your AoE does 15% more damage to unsteady targets, which is really good for AoE pooling. Project deals 25 more damage, 15% less force, and that's good. Um, Additional 20% of armor and damage increases, reduction by 2%. Force regen, all that kind of basic stuff. Slow time or dark ward. Now this is one of those abilities you need to keep off at your cooldown. As soon as you use it, you wait 10 seconds, you use it again straight away. This generates a lot of fret. I would show you parsec information, but I can't show parsec information on the video for some reason because it doesn't like showing overlays, which is really annoying because I have some really good fret parsecs to show you. I would like to show. Increases damage dealt by your AoEs. Consuming a charge of Dark Ward increases shield absorption by 1%. So when you lose a charge of Kinetic Ward, you get one more absorb percent. Really, really good. Since shadow tanks are quite highly built on absorb and shield. Anyway, um, that's a crap thing. You need to watch that. Increases your melee and range defenses by 4%. It's quite good. And you get a proc every now and then for Force Bleach, or Breach, or whatever you want to call it, by 75. That deals the damage by 75%, which is a lot of damage when you think about it. Coming from a tank's point of view, it's maybe like, what, 3-4k, which is good. To DPS, that's nothing, that's a low attack, but still good. Now we're coming on to our main ability known as Force Pool. This one is what I would say the most important opener you could use. It uses the force to draw the target in, instantly pulling it to your location and generating a high amount of threat. Does not work against enemies and targets in cover. Now, the way I use this ability is I'll give you an easy example. We've done Templar Sacrifice and we've downed walkers every try. Basically, we do it once, we down on hard mode now. It's on farm. But what I do is I'm normally on Walker 1, the one that is tauntable. What I do is I start from stealth, just off them, and I get into range, which is 30 meters, and obviously I do my tank cooldown, countdown, and then I use Force Pull, and I speed into the enemy, because he is a boss, he cannot move. I can't pull the walker to me, I have to move to him. This is really good for, gives you, I think it's a 14k threat head start, which is really good and really effective. And you can't really complain with that. That's more threat in it. You got a better head start. You get your utility point. Harnessing darkness. No, harnessed shadow. Sorry, darkness is the imp side version of this. Basically, every time you use project and slow time, you build a stack. And once you have 3 stacks of this, you use your sliding debris or something. I don't know. It's your teleconnect for upgrade. Use that with 3 stacks because it gives you increases your damage obviously by 25% for each stack. And at 3 stacks, each tech grants shadow protection, which increases damage reduction by 1%, and that can stack up to 4 times and last 12 seconds. That is a key part of the rotation, I would say. Increases the force, yeah. All these ones you can actually look over. I'm not going to go through them all because it will take me quite a while. This one is really handy. Basically, this gives you, as soon as you exit stealth, you are given that 4 stacks of shadow protection. Really good. And you can now use Shadow Strike face to face. So I have a keybound to a button I normally press, so I can use it a lot. It's really good for topping up threat. Increases your stealth detection by level 2. Oh wait, I'm not doing all this. Basically, when you activate battle readiness, and you've got force technique, which combat technique, sorry, your damage reduction is increased by 25%. Your upgraded throw, obviously, you can use this on the move. I'll show you once I do like a quick show of the dummy on how to do your basic aggro start. And yeah, the utilities I like to use is I can't even say the names because I'm so used to using the Imperial side ones, but you can change these depending on the fight. So there's a few you need to swap to. My general ones I use is this one. It reduces Mind Snap and Force of Will and Force Speed by 5 seconds, reduces all the cooldowns. Makes your AoE 25% stronger and increases your movement by 15% and effective stealth by 5 levels. You need the speed increase the whole time. It's insanely important. You can't go without it. Resilience or Resilience or whatever you'll call it. I'm going to call it Force Shroud because that's what I'm used to calling it. Increases it by 2 seconds. That's important because it was only a 3-second tanking ability. And your force speed, half a second, that's handy. Force speed obviously removes all your movement impairing effects and granting immunity to them while for their duration. This one is what I think makes Shadow tanks stand out really well in groups, is you get a Shadow Shell or Assassin Shell, or it's same thing. Basically, you drop a circle in the middle of the map. I'll go with commanders for this one since there's 3 bosses, and in the middle of the room you can just drop that circle there, and healers can stay in there, and they get, you're getting a 3% healing increase, which is really good. And anybody in that circle, any healing they do is increased by 5%. That's quite handy when you think about it, especially in like hard mode. Healing has been much more effective with my Assassin's Shelter, which is really good. Now, sturdiness. While deflection is active, you are immune to sleep, stun, and lift and impairing abilities. This one is not as important, but still really good and handy for like PvP. The other utility I use on Lurker hard mode is Shadowy Veil, or I can't remember what the other one is called. But if I'm guarding somebody and they are starting to take damage, what ends up happening is they gain 1% damage reduction. So to a total of 3%. It might not seem like a lot, but it's still handy to have rather than that one for Lurker, because you're not focusing on ads, you're mainly on the boss the whole time. For ad control, this is primarily for Revenites on hard mode because it's quite a hard fight. Basically what it does is it gives you Force Lift to activate instantly. That's an extra CC you can use to keep ads off of you. Really handy. Right, and as you can see, I am on my Shadow tank, obviously, in my Yavin Stronghold. I'll just stand out here, and I will drop my Face Walk. circle, if you're standing within 5 meters of the center, which is right there, you gain shadow and shelter. Obviously, healing increased by 5%, but it doesn't say it obviously. And obviously, you don't want to press it again because you teleport into it and it disappears. Not very effective for those healers. Close that. I'll go over the other cooldowns you get. Obviously, you have your Kinetic Ward, brings up little stones. I have my 7 set bonus, so I've got an extra 3 charges to it and extra seconds, which is really handy. Your basically your oh shit button increases your chance to purges removable effects and increases your chance to resist force and tech attacks by 200% for 5 seconds. This is insanely handy for walkers on hard mode when you get pulled into the middle for a gravity well. And if you're on Walker 1, it so happens that, oh, he decides to do Mega Blast. 2 big hits. You just pop that before he's finished. And you literally take no damage. Brilliant. One of the best abilities in the game, I think. The old shit button. Battle readiness is basically you get 15% of your health back. It's quite handy if you're really low on health and the healers are a bit too busy. Just pop that until you can get a heal. I think this is actually wrong because I've never been healed. Like it says here, increasing your damage by all techniques by 50% increases the chance to trigger their effects by 25%, and healing you for 756 when their effects are triggered. I've never actually seen any of those since 3.0, so they probably do need to change that. Flexion is increases your ranged and melee defenses by 50% for 12 seconds. What this does is it's very handy on Walker. No, not Walker, Underlurker. If you're doing when it comes to the cross phase, if the cross is gonna go red, you pop that, you take no damage. But you might take some. It just does depend on your luck, and I'm normally quite lucky. I never take it. This one, I'm not gonna even bother trying to say it, but basically it increases your upgraded telekinetic throw 30 meters, so you can be further away and still hit them. But there's one in the utilities, not in the utilities, in discipline. When you have combat technique activated, activating that specific cooldown grants 30% extra shield absorption for 20 seconds. That is a lot of absorption rating. I mean, that's crazy. It's quite good. And now I'll show you the gear I'm talking about. Obviously, I'm using legacy gear to transfer it all over, apart from ear implants and relics. Please note that, yes, my relics are really bad, but this is Repside, and I've only just kind of started gearing this one up. I just need the one relic. Now, just set my camera there. I'm obviously using that, so please be aware. As you can see from my defensive stats, my damage reduction is by 40%. That's good. I'll take this off. See, it drops straight to 22. So having that on is really good. What ends up happening is my defense is at 22%. This is still in the works because I need to find the right balance, but I think I've got it right on my rep side. My imp side one's a bit weird. It's got a lot higher defense, but we're still downing bosses and stuff. It's really effective. My shield chance is at 40%, 41, but when I pop Kinetic Ward, it jumps up to 55. Really, really good. Along with absorption at 55 as well, basically. Plus an extra 30, 84. You're laughing. You're not gonna take much damage if you're lucky. Right. Oh, I need to show gear. Didn't show the stats. I'll start with easy one. As you can see, my head. That's a bad example. Use my chest. as you can see, I have it so you can actually see all the mods and enhancements. I'm not using any comms gear, primarily because the comms gear gives you far too much endurance and not enough defensive stats, i.e. your absorb, your defense, and your shield. Oh no, it gives you fine shield, it's absorb and defense, it doesn't give you enough of, and that is obviously a big problem because you're taking more damage, but you've got more health, so you kind of, it doesn't work out the same, whereas if you have higher defense, but lower health, you literally take next to no damage, it's really good. But all this is based in slot. I've gone for, I think this is my quite high up. I've only got 514 defense, so it's quite mainly absorb and shield. And obviously my augments, I've not even augmented that half of the gear because I'm lazy, but I don't need it. But obviously, you know, doing this, you can see not to pick the comms gear because it doesn't make you as an effective tank. You take larger hits and you lose that bonus health, whereas you can have better stats and take next to no damage and still have the majority of your health, depending on if healers are up to par with you. Obviously, you can only use double sabers, obviously, and you want to have a. I have a grey helix defense shield because I I was lucky enough to get one during the Grey event. This makes my life easier for changing. Um, what you can do is obviously you can buy a 198 main hand, I know offhand, and use the armoring only. That gives you a good increase because it doesn't have set bonus. You can get away with it, and obviously I've got a 198 armoring, 192 mod, 198 enhancement, mainly because I had an old 192 enhancement there. I just replaced it with a 198. And yeah, that's kind of basically it. The only problem is though with shadow tanks is they're quite squishy. So you know what? I'll show you a bit of a opening rotation. Hopefully I won't kill them too fast due to I'm on Yavin 4 and I have quite good gear. I'm a keybinder as well, just because I don't like having to stop and click. I prefer having key bindings just to make my life. Why am I going to Imperial? Just make my life that much easier. We'll go to that one because it's in the middle. Stems you want to be using are the advanced fortification stems. These are. Nope, that's the wrong one. Nope, I don't have one on me. They last 8 hours and give you, I think it's 100 something odd defense and 81 endurance, or it's the other way around. I can't remember. It's been quite a while since I've popped it. Obviously, if it lasts 8 hours. I only popped it one last night because we were doing a raid and ended up playing around doing random stuff, climbing things, and yeah, it was quite bad. Need to go find one of those walkers. They're normally a good fight. Well, these guys will just get slaughtered pretty fast with me. I want to show a proper fight. Ah, it'll be a good fight. As always, start fight from stealth. I always pop Dark Ward before I start, unless obviously we're doing red check and someone says, "Oh, wait, I need to gain my stacks of supercharged cells," or whatever you want to call it. Okay, and now I will pull with force pull towards me. I use slow time. I got a proc for that. I do a couple of hits, proc that. Now I can do, well, I could have done if I didn't get CC'd. And knock back. I have spinning kick as well. You can use that out of stealth. just kind of main abilities you're obviously going to be using is Crash, Project, Slow Time, Force Breach, and your upgrade to Telekinetic Throw. Unless the boss is obviously lower than 30% health, you start using Spinning Strike. There is certain ways of holding threat in a raid, obviously, because there's 8 people, and there's always going to be that one guy that can out-threat you, normally a DPS, or, in my case, a tank. No, it was the other guys. Last night, I was out-threating the other tank, and I was tanking. It was quite funny. You get knocked back by Blaster, and I would have to tag for a bit. It was quite fun. Never had a good laugh, but fair enough, he was quite new to Shadow Tank, so... and I lost my train of thought. That's what I was going to do. I was going to show you the gear. In the set bonus, obviously you get, obviously, Wither, Slow Time, which is damage reduction by 2% for 3 seconds. That's why you pop it, because it's, you know, percent is percent, still good. Wither and Slow Time, which is the cooldown of Mind Control and Mass Mind Control. Mind Control is your single taunt, Mind Control is your AoE. I very rarely AoE taunt. I only do it in my openers on certain bosses where I do a simple free taunt rotation, which starts me force pulling, speed into them, taunt, pop, slow time straight after I've done that, project, crash, force bleach. Hopefully I get a project. By that time, my taunt is wore off. I do mass mind control then, and then obviously slow time again. That means my mind control, my single target taunt, has come off a cooldown. And that means as soon as my mass mind control taunt has come off, just pop that one. That way I've used 3 taunts in an opener. It builds up a really nice amount of threat. I mean a really nice. We most of the time, depending on how the fight goes and Temple Sacrifice on Temple, not Temple, on Walkers on hard mode, it's very rare I'll lose aggro when I'm tanking Unit 1 because I'm doing a simple free taunt rotation. But these guys have too low health, but I might end up doing a video on when I think Tuesday I'll do a video of Walker's fight on hard mode so people can watch it and see what I mean. And I will obviously just edit my voice over it so you don't actually have to hear like us shouting at each other and telling people they're doing things wrong. Well, thank you for watching and goodbye.